So when it comes to manifesting techniques, there was a time when I was doing everything in the book. I was trying everything. And there really is only a few things that really still stick with me and stay with me, and things that I actually still use today. And one of them, my favourite thing, is visualization. I just can't tell you how many times I visualized something in my mind and then I have lived it. It is magic. That's the only way that I can describe it, is that these experiences that I've had where I visualized something really vividly, immersed myself in that imaginal scene and then lived it, it just blows my mind. So in this video, I want to inspire you by giving you some examples of things that I visualized about my relationship that then actually happened, and I literally lived in almost in disbelief of thinking, oh my god, I definitely manifested this because I know that I visualized it. So I hope you're really going to enjoy this video. Before I get into this video, I want to let you know that I've got a workshop coming up this Saturday, which is called How I Manifested My Specific Person, and it is all about how I manifested my specific person. We're going to go into detail, into depth, into the yeses and the nos, the things that work, the things that didn't work, and you'll leave feeling inspired, hopeful and positive about where you are on your own personal journey. We are all on this journey back to ourselves, and yes, our specific person may well be part of that, and it's a really exciting place to be. I know it can be hard, so in this workshop I want to uplift you and make you feel better about where you are. I'm also going to be launching my book, which is called How I Manifested My Specific Person, and I'm so excited for you to read it. It really is the most vulnerable, honest, raw thing that I've ever done. So that's going to be out on Saturday too. So, things I visualised. Right, visualising for me started, I suppose, when I found out about The Secret, you know, the manifestation movie, the book that everybody finds when they get into the law of attraction. And it's so powerful, that movie. I remember watching the movie years and years and years ago, maybe in 2013 was when I came across that. And I thought, wow, yeah, I'm going to believe it's possible. I didn't really know about manifestation to the extent that I know about it now, but I really started to use visualization as something that would really help me to get the things that I wanted to experience in my life. So for me, it started with things like visualizing a TED Talk. I wanted to visualize myself doing a TED Talk, and that worked so quickly. I just remember saying, I know it, I've seen it, I visualised myself doing a TED Talk, I've seen myself on the stage, I've seen them applauding me and clapping me and doing a standing ovation, I've seen it, I know it's going to happen. Literally 3 months later, I was offered the position to do a TED Talk, and that was just crazy. So when it came to manifesting a relationship, I literally, especially with Johnny, my relationship that I'm in now, I remember very clearly the first thing that I used to imagine is him turning up at my door in Brighton. Okay, and at the time this did not seem possible because actually he was very distant, he was being very cold, very hot and cold actually, just being there and then not there, and I felt this big separation between us. We lived in the same city but we weren't together, and I just wanted him to turn up at my door and say, I'm here now, I'm with you, let's do this. And he didn't, and he did not do that at that time. Now years later, we went back to Brighton together to walk the streets of where we'd met, right? And, you know, I'd completely let go of that idea that he was going to turn up at that doorstep. But we walked past the house where I used to live, and I said to him, I used to sit on that doorstep and wish that you'd just turn up and say, I love you, I'm here, and let's do this. And so what he did is he said, wait there, I'm going to be back in a minute. And he walked away, and he came back and he said, I'm here, I love you, let's do this. And it was just so romantic and so like unexpected, you know, literally years later that visualization actually happened, but it still happened, but I had completely let go. So that was one example. The other thing that I used to imagine was I used to imagine Christmas. I used to really, every single Christmas, imagine me being with his family. And I always have a difficult time with Christmas. It's always a time where I feel a bit low, and I'm not a massive fan of Christmas. And I used to think maybe if I can be with his family, I'll have a new experience, because they looked like he had an amazing big family, lots of people. I wanted to be there. And so I'd imagine me sitting on the sofa with him and his family. I'd imagine the Christmas tree. I'd imagine presents under the tree. I'd imagine giving people presents. I'd imagine feeling really comfortable and being like, I'm here now and I'm part of this. Years later, I was invited to his family house for Christmas. And I remember thinking, oh my God, this is actually happening. It was everything that I had imagined. Everything. Every bit of the visualization that I'd imagined appeared in my reality. And yeah, I couldn't control the timing of it, but it still happened. And I also have used visualization with this technique that I like to use with photos. So imagine taking specific photos in a place with my specific person. And I visualized taking all of these hand shots, you know, where you're holding the coupley hand shots where the girl's in front, like holding the guy's hand and the guy's taking the picture. I imagine taking loads of those pictures in so many different places. In the Cotswolds, where he is from, there's a specific place where I imagined that scene. I actually had the place as a screensaver on my phone for a while. And then there was places in Italy, so many places in Italy when I was living there that I imagined we're going to take a picture there, we're going to take a picture there, and I'd see a snapshot of that picture in my mind. I have all of those photos now. We went there together at a time frame that I couldn't plan or predict, but we did. And I have all of those photos that I imagined and more. And then what else? I imagined him living in my apartment in Italy. Again, I left the apartment. I moved away from Italy. That visualization, that scene, that thing, I had to let go of it because I wasn't there anymore. And I assumed, okay, that's not going to happen. But then the universe worked with me and we were in Dubai and we had to leave Dubai because COVID struck and everybody had to leave. And our flight was redirected to Rome. So we decided to see if my old apartment happened to be available, which it was. So we went there and all of those things that I'd imagined living and being there with him actually happened. Every single bit of it was what we lived and what happened. And it blew my mind. There's been so many things. Even, you know, him saying certain things, I imagined hearing it. I imagined very clearly with all of my senses what it would be like to hear him saying certain things, you know, to be certain places, to meet certain people. I imagined so clearly going to a baby scan with him and him squeezing my hand. It happened. And it's fun leading up to a manifestation when you know it's going to happen and you're thinking, I manifested this and it felt so impossible at the time, but now it's happening. And so I just can't say the visualization doesn't work. I have no evidence of that because for me, whenever I visualize something, it's happened. And I do it with all of the, you know, the experiencing in my body that I can. I really immerse myself into it and it's so powerful. And I hope this video inspires you. And really what I would love for you to do is find a space. And I was saying this to a client this morning. Go and find a space that you love. Somewhere that is sacred to you. A beautiful lookout. For example, I had a lookout that I went to every day while I was in Italy, while I was in Perugia. And I used to sit there with a coffee every single morning and say, everything that I visualize right now is done. This is done. I'm visualizing what I'm creating. I'm creating it with my mind and I know that I will experience it. And I let that half an hour just be a time where I believed wholeheartedly that these visualizations would just happen. And I let go of the when and the how because that's not my job. I just believed and I just visualized and that's it. So I hope this video has inspired you. If you'd like to know more about my journey, about things that happened, things I did that really worked for me, come along to my workshop on Saturday where we're going to be talking about the whole journey, all the other things that I did that I believed work. And I'd love to see you there, answer your questions. We always have amazing conversations in these workshops. So hopefully I will see you there. Link below and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.